had mentioned earlier about chemo being a big push toward what you do now, and seeing as how he picked you up to Dead Silence. When did you fall under the Dead Silence Records umbrella?
It was actually like a year that I came after. A year after I kind of like got situated. I got an apartment, I got a job, started knowing the place and doing little shows here, little shows there. And it was actually when I first got here, King was working on his first solo album, and I didn't know it at the time. But DH was kind of already like in that breaking up process, but even before I moved over here, I already knew what Delinquent Habits was. I known them, I followed their music. I was like an underground I still am I like that underground hip hop. I like just up and comers, people that you don't hear of all the time, but they're, badass artists, people that are dope, but you might not see them on TV, or you might not see them being pushed. But anyway, once I came here, I met Chemo, I got to kick it with him and all that. I was like, man, it's like a dream come true to me already, you know what I mean? I'm chilling with these badass, MCs that have sold millions of records or on MTV and shit. I'm like, damn, this is tight, dude, for me to even be affiliated, an up-and-comer, just a newbie. But he asked me to be on his first solo album, because, he liked the way I was rapping in Spanish and stuff. So I was like, yeah, that'd be tight. And from then, we just started working with each other, knowing each other. More as like a friendship versus just a label, artist type of relationship. And then we just started talking, and he was like, you know what, you really, put yourself out there, you come out here, you're really pursuing what you love to do and your music and stuff, and I want to try to help you out as much as I can, because I'm not where I used to be when I first started with Delinquent Habits. I'm gonna actually be taking a step back by doing my own thing, starting my own label, starting from the bottom pretty much again. And I was like, I'm cool with that, dog. That's a blessing for me, because not anybody's gonna do that for you. Not anybody's gonna check a chance and give you some beats and let you record at their studio, or even let you know what they know as far as industry is concerned, because there's a whole nother backside to just the producing and the lyrics. There's the money part of it, the rights and the legalities of being in the music business, and Chemo has shown me a lot of that, and I've learned a lot. And it was cool because, like, here in LA, a lot of artists ain't trying to help other artists, they're just trying to help themselves, and it was cool to have somebody, like, especially like Chemo has been in the game for a long time, to say, like, here, let me show you a little something, let me put you under my wing and teach you what I know. I don't know everything, but I'm gonna show you what I do know. And I was like, damn, that's cool, dog, because I did need that. And sometimes you need a little motivation too, because you get surrounded by all this negative thinking there. Like I said, that people are just like, oh, you're not this or you're not that, or you're underground and you don't want to sound like what's on the radio, and people are like, why aren't you doing what's on the radio? And that's exactly what I'm not doing it, because you're telling me to do something that I'm not, you know what I mean? And that was cool too, because Chemo taught me that, because his music, he's always been a little bit outside the box. He doesn't do things in the norm. It doesn't sound like just the regular other old songs, and that's cool, because it's like you say, you don't want to continue on somebody's path, you want to create your own path, you don't just want to keep doing what everybody else is doing. Sometimes you want to, go off, make your own thing, create your own genre or whatever, which is cool. But yeah, it was cool kicking it with Chemo, and it's still cool to have his advice, and even like not just with music but in life too. I was like, damn, dude, you know a lot of shit, dog. And I just trip out on how it just became more than just music, you know. And that's what I like about that. It was cool, and it was an honor. What was it? It's just exciting to become part of Dead Silence, especially like being one of the first artists. And he told me too, it might not be the biggest label, it might not blow up, but if it does, it does, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So I was like, you know what, that's cool. I'm willing to be down with that, you know. I'm not about the money or the fame or how many albums I move. It's about how many lives I help and how many lives I change, you know, with the music.
So, you know, it is in that sense that, you know, my next question, because the way you've had 2 albums, correct me if I'm wrong, under the Dead Silence, correct?
Yeah.
The City of the Dead, and I'll quote, they said it is infused with dark illumination and deep articulated multicultural rhymes that are motivating and poetic. I don't know if you read that review. How did that review make you feel?
It makes me feel cool. It makes me feel that people are listening to it. It makes me feel good that, you know, I created something that is not just it's not just really from my perspective, but somebody else can also see what I'm seeing, you know. Because I know I'm not the only one that sees things a certain way, but it's cool when you get somebody that has that same idea, that sees that idea that you try to put out there, you know. It's like some artists, they do it raw, they tell you right up front what they want to say. Other artists will do it subliminally, and you gotta decipher that and be like, oh, okay, now I know what he was trying to say. You know, and it's cool for people to actually sit there and listen to the lyrics sometimes, because a lot of times people just listen to the beat, which is cool, you know, because that's what music is about. But the second part of it is the lyrics. You know, you want to see what these artists are talking about, you know, and it feels good that people actually took the time to listen to the music and they didn't really just pass it by and say, you know what, next, because some people they don't like listening to the truth. They'll shine you off, they'll shut you up, they'll be like, you know what, what you're saying is true, but I don't want to hear it. I want to hear the lies. I want to live in that. I want to live in the fantasy world. I don't want to live in reality. And yeah, it's definitely cool. And like the crazy part is that I'm used to not seeing a lot of quotes or comments on my videos or reviews on my albums. But when I do, that means that's a hardcore, you know, fan or a hardcore listener that is actually searching for my music and is not just doing it because everybody else likes it. They're doing it because they want to. They want to look into and find it and figure out, okay, who is this artist? Where is he from? Because, you know, and a lot of times it just takes that one song to become, you know, a fan of that artist. You know, because I've noticed it's happened to me where I've just listened to this one song, I'm like, damn, who is this person? I want to know who this guy is. And once you start figuring out who this person is, you're like, damn, this fool is tight. He's even more than I figured that he was. He's even deeper in the game, not just with his music, but, you know, with his action. He's doing all this other stuff too. So yeah, it's definitely cool to hear that people appreciate when you do your work, and when you put it out there, they're like, damn, this is some good